What's going on, guys? It's Riley with The Real Yapper here. I got a really exciting video for you guys right now. Criterion has just announced their September 2024 channel lineup. It's like one of my favorite days of the month because you get to see all the new exciting movies that the Criterion Channel is going to have to offer. If you don't know about the Criterion Channel, it's basically the Criterion Collection's streaming service. It's my personal favorite streaming service as it kind of has like my style of films. It's a lot of weird stuff on there, which I tend to go for, as well as a lot of art house stuff, indie stuff. You know, there's also a lot of big name movies on there, and they get some really cool and interesting features, some big ones that you wouldn't expect, and then some little ones that I've never even heard of. I've got a lot of cool shorts on there as well, and I also just like their channel curation, and that's kind of what we're going to talk about today if you're unfamiliar with their channel lineup drops. So they kind of curate every month movies that have a certain theme. You know, they just did one a few months ago that was like Times Square, so it was all movies that kind of take place in like that kind of 70s Times Square, that really grindy, like dirty Times Square. You know, they had the post-apocalyptic movies that were all like kind of about like nuclear war and stuff like that. So it's a lot of really interesting stuff, not what you get on like a Netflix where you get like, you know, here's all our thriller movies or whatever, but they certainly do have genres like that on their website as well. These collections and series are just a lot more interesting to me, and I kind of like going by those themes. So we're gonna get into it now. So I have not taken a look at these yet, so this is probably gonna be my general reaction. This September, take your seat in the jury box and watch legal battles over justice, truth, and freedom play out in our selection of riveting courtroom dramas. Oh, okay. Explore the new American cinema essentials that changed Hollywood filmmaking in the 60s and 70s, or savor the lurid, bloodletting, and lavish visual textures of Giallo. Oh, let's go. Italy's rapturous spin on the horror mystery genre. So just off the bat, those first three sound excellent to me. I'd imagine courtroom dramas, you're definitely gonna get 12 Angry Men because that's a Criterion release. Maybe La Verite, that's a really good underrated one. Anatomy of a Murder by Otto Preminger, that's another one that could be in there. For the new American cinema one, probably gonna get a lot from that BBS box set, like 5 Easy Pieces, maybe Last Picture Show. Might get like a Bonnie and Clyde type thing, because I feel like you kind of almost can't talk about 60s and 70s filmmaking without talking about Bonnie and Clyde, such an important film. For the Giallo one, I'm really excited about. I'm imagining it's going to be a lot of Argento, hoping maybe Suspiria. I think Suspiria was on the channel at one point, but I'd love to see that come back. Let's see. Let's go on to the next part. Oh, I've already read ahead. That looks pretty sweet. There's plenty more to choose from this month, including Centennial Salute to Marcello Mastroianni, who I think is one of the best actors of all time. I was actually just talking about him yesterday in one of his movies. A tribute to the women screenwriters who left their mark on 1930s Hollywood in the pre-code era and beyond. Guest selections from acclaimed novelist Rachel Kushner, and a pair of wildly ambitious passion projects from Francis Ford Coppola, presented in time for the release of his new epic sci-fi film, Megalopolis. Wow. Okay, so this is a pretty stacked month already, so let's just go into it. Alright, so for courtroom dramas, I'm not going to bother reading this whole description thing because we kind of just did an overview, so if you guys like, we can go back to that. And yeah, I've not seen Philadelphia, but Philadelphia is the kind of banner for this, so that's like the film they're really pushing a highlight. So on this one, you get 12 Angry Men, which is, keep saying this, but this is one of my favorite films of all time. This is certainly in my top 5, probably about at 4 or 5. Witness for the Prosecution, which I've always wanted to watch. Anatomy of a Murder, which is great. Inherent the Wind, that's a really good one. Injustice for All, which I've not seen. Kramer versus Kramer, which is very close up on my Best Picture watch list. I'm watching through every Best Picture movie, and I'm hopefully going to do a video about that when I'm done. Right now, I'm on, I think, Rocky? Or no, I'm on One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, which I've seen before, and I've seen Rocky before. But I'm rewatching all of them too. It's taking me a while because some of the early Best Pictures were a little rough. But Kramer vs. Kramer, that's definitely going to be one I'm going to check out. The Verdict, My Cousin Vinny, which I just rewatched pretty recently on television while I was on a little work gig. Philadelphia, which I do really want to see. I'm a huge Demi fan. I love Stop Making Sense, love Silence of the Lambs, so really, really interested to check out some more of his stuff. People vs. Larry Flint. Oh, they have the... Is that the stage adaptation of 12 Angry Men, the 1997 one? That's pretty cool. Then Runaway Jury, which I think is the only one on here that I have not heard of, so pretty stacked lineup already. I am a huge courtroom drama fan, so I cannot wait to see kind of the ones that I've missed. Actually, I haven't seen Injustice, or I haven't heard of Injustice for All either. So that and Runaway Jury I'll definitely have to check out because I'm not familiar with those at all. But films like Witness for the Prosecution, Kramer vs. Kramer, Philadelphia, those are ones that I've been aware of and just haven't seen. So definitely gonna check those out. Moving on to the New American Cinema. So this specifically, I don't know if I said it at the top, but it's highlighting kind of 1966 through 1979. And I'm already looking down and there's some unbelievable films in here. So first off, you got Seconds, which if you have not seen Seconds, watch it. Don't look up anything about it before. It is wild. Bonnie and Clyde, so I got that one right. Bonnie and Clyde, yeah, one of the most important films of all time. The Graduate, which is also another one that's on my top 101 list on Letterboxd. So if you'd like to check out my top 101 favorite movies, definitely follow me on Letterboxd. Link should be in the description below. A Midnight Cowboy, another one of the most important movies kind of this era. Just rewatched that a few months ago for my Best Picture marathon, which I've kind of taken a little bit of a pause on, but that's a great film. Five Easy Pieces, which I do own. I've seen it. I would love to rewatch it. I did like it. I didn't like it as much as I thought I would. MASH, which I really want to check out. Again, I think I mentioned in my CC40 video that I've been on a bit of an Altman kick, so MASH will be a good one. Watermelon Man, very interesting. I almost just watched Watermelon Woman the other day. Clute, another one that I really want to check out again. I really like Donald Sutherland in it, but it didn't impact me the way that the rest of that Paranoia trilogy with like Parallax View and stuff that was probably my least favorite of the three. Clute. Last Picture Show, fantastic movie. Last Detail, I haven't seen it, but I've heard pretty good things. California Split, I don't think I've heard of, so I'll definitely have to check that out. Dog Day Afternoon, Sidney Lumet, man, he is like one of the best. So definitely gonna have to give that another rewatch because that's a fantastic movie. Mikey and Nikki, one of my favorites. Really underrated movie by a really underrated director. So Obsession, that's De Palma. That's one of the few De Palma ones I haven't seen. Taxi Driver. Yeah, I say more. It's Taxi Driver. Days of Heaven, which I just watched that for the first time. I got the 4K for that during I think the November sale last November, and it's pretty good. And then Apocalypse Now. What the hell? So yeah, Apocalypse Now, the Redux. So that's the extended version. That's like, I think it's like almost 4 hours long. I think that might be the only version that I've seen of Apocalypse Now. I love it. I know that people complain sometimes about the pacing of the Redux, but I honestly don't have anything to compare it to because I've only seen the Redux, and I've seen it twice, and I love it. It's one of my favorite movies. So that's a crazy one. So Apocalypse Now looks like it's going to be a part of the Megalopolis kind of Coppola feature. Yeah, so that looks like it's going to be a part of two different collections here. Then we have Rebels at the Typewriter, Women Screenwriters of the 1930s. I'm really interested to looking at this because I feel like a lot of women writers at this time kind of made some really cool stuff that just went totally under everyone's noses. Meshes of the Afternoon is a really great short film. It's one of my favorite short films. Very weird, avant-garde. So definitely check that out. It's kind of unrelated to this, but let's get into it. You got Hallelujah from 1929. Working Girls, which I've heard very good things about. Blondie of the Follies from 1932. Backstreet, Redheaded Woman, Rockabye, What Price Hollywood, Bed of Roses, Dinner at 8, which has an asterisk. I don't know why. Hold Your Man, Midnight Mary, which I've heard very good things about as well. Tugboat Annie, Finishing School, Sadie McKee, Make Way for Tomorrow, which is a excellent movie. It is devastating to watch, I thought, but I had a great time watching it. I thought it was amazing. And then You and Me. So, pretty good one. A lot of films that I have not seen. Actually, almost, I think all but one. I think the only one I've seen is Make Way for Tomorrow. So, I'm really excited to check those out. Probably will not get to all of these movies by the time they leave the channel. Usually things are on the channel for like 3 months, but even then it's just, you know, I watch stuff outside of Criterion Channel constantly, so kind of have to pick and choose, but I'll probably choose a couple from here to check out, especially because if I can find one by the same writers that did Make Way for Tomorrow, I'd love to check out some more of their stuff. So, all right, here I'm really excited about this one. Marcello Mastroianni at 100. He's one of my favorite actors of all time. I'm a huge Fellini fan, and he appears a lot in a lot of Fellini stuff. Probably one of my favorite performances of all time is in La Dolce Vita, which I see down here. But let's get into the films. Do apologize for my Italian pronunciation here. I did take 2 years of Italian in college. Got Italian Studies Student of the Year, which is more Italian history. Not good at language. Not good at all at language. But let's go into it. Le Note Bianche, which I think that is, quickly looking over this, maybe the only one on here that I have not heard of. But yeah, definitely make sure to check that out. Il Bel Antonio, really have heard good things about that. La Dolce Vita, which is one of my favorite films of all time. If you have not seen it, you're doing yourself a disservice, honestly. You need to go watch it. Divorce Italian Style is hilarious. It's a very funny movie. I haven't seen Marriage Italian Style. I know it's not totally related, but I always think of that as well and how I need to check that out. La Notte, which I really want to check out. That's part of the trilogy that Antonioni did, so I really... or semi-trilogy. It's like... it's kind of like the Dollars trilogy. It's not all related, but 8.5... again, Fellini, one of the best movies ever. Need I say more? The Organizer, A Slightly Pregnant Man, which I've heard is weird and wild, and I will probably end up checking that out because I've always had a curiosity about that movie. We All Loved Each Other So Much. Oh, actually, I guess I have not heard that one either, unless it has an Italian title that it's not going by. A Special Day, and 101 Nights, which... I love that movie. I think it genuinely is probably my favorite Agnes Varda movie. I've seen every Agnes Varda movie and all of her shorts, and I can't believe that they made that. And it's weird and it's funny, and it's sweet, and I really like it. But we're gonna go on to something less sweet, and it's Giallo. This might be the one that I'm maybe most excited for, actually. Maybe even over some of the Mastroianni stuff, because I'm a huge Giallo fan. I want to check out kind of some of the more underrated Giallos out there, and I do not see Suspiria on here, so instead of rewatching Suspiria for the 10th time, I'm gonna look at some new Giallos. So, The Girl Who Knew Too Much, Blood and Black Lace, which is pretty sweet. Bird with the Crystal Plumage, which I am very excited to watch. I've always, the Arrow video cover always intrigued me, and then, yeah, I found out who directed it, and I'm like, okay, I need to see this movie. In the Folds of the Flesh, which I don't know if I know that one. All the Colors of the Dark, Death Walks at Midnight, Don't Torture a Duckling, which I've heard is also another one that's pretty weird. Who Saw Her Die? Torso, which Torso is awesome. Arrow also released Torso as part of their Yellow Giallo box set, and that is an unbelievable movie. Same with What Have They Done to Their Daughters? That's another one that actually they have all three in that Yellow box set, because Strip Nude for Your Killer is also part of that. All three are really fun. I mean, I love Giallos. I think they're a great time. Deep Red, another one that I need to see, and Tenebrae, which, I mean, come on. So that one's going to be insanely fun. So this one is going down to the Criterion Originals. It's Rachel Kushner's picks for Adventures in Moviegoing. L'Enfance Nuit, I think that's how you say it. Haven't heard of that. Theorem by Pasolini. I couldn't get into it. It's okay. I liked it. I do love Pasolini. That one I struggled a little bit with. I gotta rewatch that. The Pig. Wanda, which is now a part of that big CC40 box set that I just did a video on. Mother Kushner's Goes to Heaven, I think is how you say that. I haven't heard of that one either. Man Who Fell to Earth, which I really want to check out. Mr. Klein, and Sans Soleil, which is one of the most beautiful movies I think I've seen in a very long time. Definitely check that out. So exclusive premieres, Bad Press, which it looks like it's a documentary. Here by Bas Davos. We got the Rediscoveries and Restorations. Oh man, some cool ones in here too. They got One from the Heart, Reprise, plus the original theatrical cut. Oh, okay. Alright, so this is one of the Coppola ones. House on Haunted Hill, which this is one of my favorite Vincent Price. This actually might be my favorite Vincent Price movie. I love this movie. I have a box set of like 100 different horror movies that are all like a bunch of B movies, and this is like probably one of my favorite ones in there. Although weirdly, like Metropolis is in there too, so that's actually probably my favorite in there. But Metropolis kind of has no business being in there. I don't know why it is, but yeah, this is a awesome movie. Such a fun time, especially if you like that like 50s, 60s B movie style. The Sleepy Time Gal, long overlooked gem of American independent. Yeah, apparently overlooked by me too, because I have never heard of that movie. Criterion Collection Edition, so adding La Dolce Vita, Not a Pretty Picture, Clute, Director Spotlight, Azazel Jacobs. So it looks like it's got 4 of their movies: The Good Times Kid, Mama's Man, Terry, and The Lovers, directed by Julius Amadei Leo. So the old Scorsese's in The Valet, French Wedding, Caribbean Style, then 2 shorts, which is Open Mic Solitaire. I like that name. That's a good name. And Missed Melodies of Paris. So Hollywood Hits. Oh, wow. I got some weird ones. So Apocalypse Now looks like it's packaged also with Hearts of Darkness. And if you've seen Apocalypse Now and you haven't seen Hearts of Darkness, you're making a mistake. You need to see Hearts of Darkness. It's a fantastic documentary by Eleanor Coppola, who recently passed away, unfortunately. That was Francis Ford Coppola's wife. And it's phenomenal. American Werewolf in London, which, say what you will about John Landis, that movie rips. I love American Werewolf in London. It's fantastic. Oh, so they're adding more of the American independents as well. Empire Records, which I want to see because I've heard that from everyone that it's right up my alley. I love, again, it says right here, 90s Slacker Cinema. Fierce City. Oh, Abel Ferrara. I need to check out more Abel Ferrara. I've seen The Driller Killer, but I haven't seen it in a very long time. And that's kind of it. I want to watch the Bad Lieutenant. I want to see that. Queen of Earth with Elizabeth Moss. Oh, and from Alex Ross Perry. Sweet. Frequenter of the Blank Check podcast, who I really like when he's on there. And Blaze, Ethan Hawke, doing the documentary about Blaze Foley, which, if you haven't watched, he does a What's in the Bag, or What's in My Bag video on YouTube, and he talks a little bit about Blaze Foley in that, and it's very interesting. And then one last one, International Classics, Park Chan-wook's Joint Security Area, which I'm really excited to check that out too. Yeah, so that's it. That's going to do it for this video. Please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. If you are new to the channel, give me some video suggestions down below if you have any. Also, make sure to follow my letterbox. Link is also in the description below. And that's going to do it for me. Thank you for watching. See ya.